For 5 minutes, the world was already dead. Cities just didn't know it yet. A computer said nuclear war had begun, and one man had to decide whether to believe it. If he trusted the machine, millions would die. If he ignored it, his country could be destroyed. No speeches, no warnings, no second chances. Just 5 minutes. For decades, the world lived under a dangerous illusion, an illusion called peace. During the Cold War, peace did not exist because nations trusted one another. It existed because everyone was terrified. The United States and the Soviet Union pointed thousands of nuclear weapons at each other, each capable of ending civilization in a single night. This balance had a name: mutually assured destruction. If one side launched nuclear weapons, the other would respond. Both would be destroyed. The theory was simple. Fear would stop war. But fear also made the world fragile, and in 1983, that fragility nearly destroyed everything. This story takes place on September 26, 1983, a date most people have never heard of. But it may be the most important night in human history, because on this night, the systems designed to protect the world nearly ended it. By the early 1980s, the Cold War was reaching one of its most dangerous moments. Relations between the superpowers were collapsing. The Soviet Union believed the United States was preparing for a surprise nuclear attack. American bombers flew closer to Soviet airspace. NATO conducted massive military exercises simulating nuclear war. From Moscow's perspective, these looked less like drills and more like rehearsals. Fear was everywhere, and fear changes how decisions are made. When leaders expect war, they prepare to strike first. To protect itself, the Soviet Union built a new early warning system. It used satellites in space to watch the Earth constantly. Their job was simple: detect American missile launches. Warn Soviet leadership immediately. Once missiles were detected, Soviet leaders would have only minutes to respond. There would be no time to verify, no time to debate, just retaliation. The system was fast, automatic, and brutally unforgiving. This system trusted machines more than humans. The belief was simple: machines don't panic, machines don't hesitate, machines don't make emotional mistakes. But machines also don't understand context. They don't question reality, they only follow data. And that night, the data was wrong. The early warning system was monitored from a secret underground bunker called Serpukhov 15. Buried deep underground, far from public view. Inside, officers watched screens day and night. They were trained to follow protocol without hesitation. On the night of September 26th, the officer in charge was Stanislav Petrov. Petrov was not a powerful man. He was not a general. He was not a politician. He was a lieutenant colonel, an engineer by training, a man taught to trust systems and follow orders, not question computers, not improvise, not hesitate. Just after midnight, the bunker erupted in noise. A piercing alarm shattered the silence. A warning flashed across the main screen. Missile launch detected. According to the computer, the United States had just launched a nuclear missile toward the Soviet Union. Petrov froze. This was the moment he had trained for. Protocol demanded immediate reporting. Within minutes, Soviet missiles could be launched in response. Then the system updated. Another missile detected. Then another. Then another. 5 missiles in total. The computer showed maximum confidence. According to the system, nuclear war had already begun. The alarm screamed. Red lights flashed. Officers waited for Petrov's command. Petrov noticed something strange. 5 missiles didn't make sense. If the United States were launching a real first strike, it wouldn't send 5 missiles. It would send hundreds, enough to destroy Soviet retaliation completely. Why take that risk? The logic didn't add up. Petrov also knew the system was new. It had never been tested in a real crisis, and he knew something else. That night, sunlight reflected off high-altitude clouds over North America. Something satellites could misinterpret, something computers wouldn't question. Petrov had only minutes. If he reported the attack and was wrong, Soviet missiles could launch, the United States would respond, civilization could end. If he ignored a real attack, his country could be destroyed. This was the moment the system demanded blind obedience. Petrov made a choice no manual allowed. He broke protocol. He reported the alert as a false alarm. Then he waited. The longest 5 minutes in human history began. Nothing happened. No explosions. No missiles. Minutes passed. Then more minutes. The alarm stopped. The world was still there. Petrov had been right. Later investigations revealed the truth. The satellite sensors had mistaken sunlight reflecting off clouds for missile launches. The system did exactly what it was programmed to do. It trusted its sensors. It ignored context. It failed. If Petrov had followed protocol, Soviet leaders might have ordered a retaliatory strike. The United States would have responded immediately. Major cities destroyed within hours, millions dead on the first day. Then would come nuclear winter, smoke-blocking sunlight, global crop failure, worldwide famine. Civilization might never have recovered. This was not theory. This was 5 minutes away. You might expect Petrov to be honored. He wasn't. The incident was classified. Officials were embarrassed. Petrov was criticized for not following procedure correctly. No medals, no recognition. For years, the world never knew his name. This story is uncomfortable. It reminds us that technology can fail. Systems are fragile. Human judgment still matters. History prefers stories of victory, not stories where disaster was narrowly avoided. So this moment was buried. Nuclear weapons still exist. Early warning systems still exist. Technology is faster now, but it is still imperfect. This story reminds us that history is not only shaped by empires and wars, but by quiet moments, when someone chooses to pause. On September 26, 1983, the world almost ended. Not with explosions, not with speeches, but with a warning on a screen, and one man who chose not to press a button. If you believe forgotten moments like this matter, if you want more hidden stories that shaped human history, subscribe to The Forgotten Empire. Like this video. It tells YouTube this story matters. Comment below. Did you know the world came this close to nuclear war? Share this video, because more people should know how fragile history really is, because the next forgotten story might change how you see the world forever.